Make today iconic. What is up, guys? It's Upcome Sports here with the Washington Wizards Super Realistic Rebuild, part 1 of this series. Here are the objectives for the Wizards. If you guys have not heard, John Wall will undergo surgery for this season and he will be out most likely for the entire season. He's gotten a lot of criticism for that choice, but then again, it is his body. He knows what to do with it, so I think the Wizards need to go into a full rebuild at this point. They're not going to even make the playoffs without John Wall. So just trade Bradley Beal and get some assets, get some first-round picks, and just go from there. Try to tank, maybe get yourself a new point guard. But also, if you guys are new to the channel, I do use trade override because 2K doesn't really allow you to make realistic trades. So I try to explain myself after every trade, so I'm not just finessing teams and taking whatever they have. But here is the roster for the Wizards. We are in start today, so the Wizards are going to be at 14-23 in the East, which is really bad for being in the East. I don't know what happened with John Wall and Bradley Beal and this whole team, but they traded Kelly Oubre for Trevor Ariza. I didn't see what was the point of that move, really. But they don't have many young pieces either. They have Troy Brown, who they took in the lottery, just outside of the lottery last season. But I am going to be putting storylines on the draft. It just makes it more unpredictable. A lot of things can happen, like Zion Williamson can turn out to be a bust, or you can have late first-round picks and second-rounders who turn into stars. So as I said, right off the bat, we're going to be trading Bradley Beal to the New Orleans Pelicans, who's having a really nice season, not shooting as effectively as he usually does, but nonetheless, he has 3 years left on his contract, making a good amount of money, but still reasonable. And we're going to take back some bad contracts from the Pelicans, Solomon Hill and each one more. So 2 first-round picks is definitely enough to compensate for that. And we're just trying to rebuild at this point. So we'll take whatever we can get. 2 first-round picks, definitely good for us. And as you guys can see, the Pelicans need shooting. So after that trade, this is what the team is looking like. Satoransky's going to start at point. Ron Baker is our only shooting guard on this roster, so he's going to start. And Otto Porter is injured. So is John Wall, Markieff Morris, Dwight Howard. So a lot of injuries. We're probably not going to win many games, but so here at the trade deadline, we're going to check out how we're doing. We are 22-32, so we haven't fallen off as badly as I thought we would. We did win a couple of games that we shouldn't have, but I don't know. We're still probably going to have a top 10 pick in the draft. So for this season, Giannis is going to win the MVP for the Bucks. DeAndre Ayton, Rookie of the Year. Anthony Davis, Defensive Player. And Jordan Clarkson on the Thunder, Most Improved. Mike Malone on the Nuggets won Coach of the Year. And looking at the all-NBA teams, it looks like John Wall and Bradley Beal did not make a team, but they're not on. Well, Bradley Beal is gone, so it doesn't really matter. Standings, we were the 11th seed, so we didn't fall off quite as much, but the Cavs, Bulls, Hawks, and Knicks are probably a worse team than us, so it makes sense. The Pelicans did make the playoffs as the 6th seed in the West, so the trade definitely benefited them by a lot, and I believe Drew Holiday did get injured, so that definitely helped them out. But there you guys see the stats, and we didn't do too great. But Troy Brown, I'm not sure what we're gonna do with him. I don't think he's that good. So it is gonna be a Raptors-Warriors finals, but if you guys see, the Pelicans did make it to the conference finals, so the trade definitely benefited them a lot. We probably could have got another first-round pick, but at that point we just took what we could get. So here in the draft lottery, it looks like we're projected the 8th pick. Not too good, but we are going to pick at 8. So we're going to have to make a trade with the Dallas Mavericks, who actually selected Ja Morant, one of the best point guards in college right now. And they don't need him. Ja Morant is a ball-dominant point guard who attacks the rim, can't really shoot, can't play off the ball. And they already have that in Dennis Smith Jr. They haven't traded him yet, even though there was talks of trading him. So we're going to try to trade for him. And you see, Dennis Smith had a really good season. Neither Dennis Smith or Ja Morant can play off the ball, so it doesn't make sense selecting him. And yeah, we're going to give up our other first-round pick. So we also got a second round pick, the last pick in the draft from Dallas, and we're going to select Marquise Bolden out of Duke. He's going to be a project player. He might get some minutes with the roster we have, though. So here is the roster after the offseason, and we can't really do much. John Wall and Otto Porter's contracts are eating most of our cap up. So at this point, it's either trade them or we're not going to surround them with any pieces, really, because we're signing minimum contract guys. And John Wall, it's pretty much John Wall and Otto Porter at this point. No other guys are really going to help us out enough to win a championship or even make the playoffs. But we are going to go to player mentorship, and Troy Brown Jr. is going to be mentored by Otto Porter. And we want John Morant to learn under John Wall for at least 1 year before we trade him or try to trade him, so that next year he can be ready to be the starter and learn some of the skills that John Wall has, maybe become a better defender. So for our first pretty big injury here, Otto Porter is going to be out for a while, I believe 8 to 10 weeks with an injury, so that's going to hurt us a lot. But at this point, we're just trying to lose games because we're not going to win a championship with this roster as it's built. So we're just riding it out, trying to get some experience to John Morant. So Otto Porter is back and healthy, and in the stretch he was gone, we lost pretty much every game that we played. I think we only won a couple of games, so pretty big hit right there. But again, we're trying to get a really good pick and then trade John Wall. So here at the All-Star break, John Wall is still an All-Star caliber point guard, making the All-Star team. So definitely his value is still up there, and we can get a couple of assets. So here at the trade deadline, we're going to check out how we're doing. We're most likely not going to trade John Wall here. We're going to wait till the draft to see what teams can offer us. But we are doing horrible. 12 games won at the deadline is probably one of the all-time worst. So here, a pretty big injury. John Wall is going to be out 2 to 4 months. This might hurt his trade value as he's now gotten hurt twice in the span of 2 years. So we'll need to find a desperate team. Maybe Phoenix would be willing to make a trade for him, since no free agent is going to go to Phoenix really, and they need a point guard. So in this season, Giannis is going to win his second MVP in a row. Zion on the Knicks Rookie of the Year. Kawhi Leonard, Defensive Player, and Nick Nurse, Coach of the Year. But let's see if John Wall made a team. It looks like he only made an all-defensive first team, which is still really good. So he's still a premier defender at the point guard, which has a lot of value. It's just his injuries at this point. John Morant with a really nice season, averaging 15 points and 5 assists. Not really getting too many rebounds, but if you guys check out the standings, we were the worst team in the East at 15th, and we won very little games, which I would expect John Wall to win us more games than that. But the Mavericks were also pretty bad. And checking out the stats, there you guys see it. Troy Brown had a pretty good season as the starter, so I don't know what we'll be doing with him. So here in the finals, the Raptors and the Rockets are going to go at it. And the Pelicans made the playoffs again as the 8th seed, so that's pretty good. And the Raptors are going to win in 7. So here in the draft lottery, we're projected the number 2 pick. Let's see if we can get lucky. And we do jump up to the number 1 overall pick, so that opens up our options. So here, just as I said, the only team I see taking on John Wall's contract is Phoenix, because nobody's really going to take on that contract unless they can't pull any other free agents. Phoenix has not signed any big-time free agents in a long time, and I don't think they will, especially not with these young guys there. So they've also got a lot of small forwards, which they need to trade. TJ Warren, not really in the rotation. They've got Josh Jackson, RJ Barrett, Kelly Oubre as well. So they get rid of TJ Warren, and they finally get an all-star two-way point guard that they need to get into the playoffs. With the number 1 overall pick, we're going to select Carl Teague, which looks to be a really good defender and also a good scorer. 6'5", 206 out of Illinois. Could be Bradley Beal's replacement if he is able to develop. And with the pick we got from Phoenix, we're going to select Norm Maxwell, who looks to be a good rebounding power forward and can also give us some defense out of Mississippi, 6'10", 258. So we'll look to develop him into a starting caliber power forward. And with our second round pick, we're going to select Vladimir Rodic out of Serbia, 6'9", 236. And he seems to have a lot of potential and a good rebounder, so we'll take a chance on him in the second round, see if he can develop. Here is the roster after trading John Wall and also Bradley Beal last season. TJ Warren is our best player. Carl Teague has some pretty good potential, 88, so hopefully he can reach that. And if he does, then he would be Bradley Beal's overall in his prime. But Vladimir Rodic was actually a steal, 90 potential in the second round. So here's the rotation. John Morant is now going to be the starter. Hopefully he learned some things from John Wall. But got a very young team. I don't expect to win many games. And we are going to send Norm Maxwell to the G League. And system proficiency, we're going to go with 7 seconds. We've got a lot of fast guys. So here at the trade deadline, we're going to check out how we're doing. We are actually 18-36, so we're definitely improved from last season. I don't know how when we traded John Wall, but I guess John Morant is really carrying this team. And we'll see what happens. Maybe we can push into the playoffs. So we actually fell off pretty badly from the trade deadline. So we're not going to make the playoffs. We're just going to get some gameplay in here in a game against the Cavs, which is kind of in our position, rebuilding with Colin Sexton and also DeAndre Hunter. So we're going to see what we're rocking with here. I do know John Morant can get to the rack, so we're going to call an ISO and fake the screenplay and get right to the bucket, contest it, and he still puts it in. So John Morant again with the open guy, nice feed inside. John Morant is also a very good passer. What kind of pass was that? And it works out. Full court pass from, I believe, Colin Sexton. So John Morant, Colin Sexton, very similar players as well. I would compare John Morant kind of to John Wall, but John Wall, I would say, is a little bit more athletic. But they're the same as they can get to the rack and finish. But Otto Porter there with a nice three-pointer. And we're going to see if Teague can hit a shot. And it looks like he misses that one. Markieff Morris with a nice rebound and put back. Let's see if we can go inside again with John Morant. Oh, nice take. And he gets blocked. Let's try to run a play here for Otto Porter. Same play. Is he going to be open? He's not. But we're going to get that pick. Markieff Morris inside. Got the position and the lay-in. So, yeah, the only problems I see with our franchise point guard is he can't really shoot. So he's going to have to improve that. Or we just need to surround him with shooters who he can dish it out to, because he's a very good passer. Kevin Love inside bullying our guys. And he gets the lay-in. John Morant inside for the open shot, and he misses. As I said, he's not a very good shooter. And a nice steal there from Teague, and he gets the ball. Didn't have really open space. Get it back out to our point guard and run a pick and roll. Gonna be open. So the rack gets fouled. So Morant actually with a pretty nice game in this one. 19 points on 7 for 15 shooting. He's also not very efficient, but he'll improve. It's barely his second year in the league, so I'm not expecting too much from him until probably his 4th or 5th season. Wide open guy, Teague, 4-3, and he hits that one. So get it back out to Morant. Try to get to the rack, which is his strength, and draws another foul. He's very good at drawing fouls as well, so he is also a very good free throw shooter, but he misses that one. Should get the second one to go in. Checking out the stats for this game, Kevin Love with a double-double, 21 and 12. Colin Sexton had a good game. Did not shoot well, though. And John Morant with 20 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal. Not really efficient, though. Not as efficient as he can be, but all-around game from everyone else. So for this season, James Harden is going to win the MVP for the Rockets, LaMelo Ball Rookie of the Year, and Anthony Davis Defensive Player, Luke Walton Coach of the Year. And I doubt anyone made a defensive team or an All-NBA team. Yeah, but we do get Carl Teague, #1 overall pick on the All-Rookie First Team, which would make sense. Averaging some pretty good numbers, but this time we were not the worst team in the East. We were 14th, but we'll still have a top 5 pick. And I believe the Pelicans pick will be ours if it's not top 5, so it is top 5 protected. The Suns making the playoffs for a first time in a while since Steve Nash, so that's definitely a good trade for them. John Morant improving his numbers. Otto Porter and TJ Warren having some pretty good numbers. I don't know if they'll be back in the offseason, but Troy Brown Jr., I don't know about him. So the Rockets and the Pacers are going to be in the finals. I think the Rockets were in the finals last season, and they sweep the Pacers. James Harden, finals MVP. So here I am going to be showing you guys all the youth that we have on this team after our trades. And you guys can see we definitely have a nice future, and we're going to have some picks coming in as well. So the Pelicans pick might fall into the top 5, but it will be unprotected next season. But we also have the Phoenix Suns pick, which was lottery protected. And here are the prospects for the 2021 draft. If you guys have any suggestions, then make sure to leave it in the comment section, and I'll be sure to look at those. Was it the right move to trade Beal and Wall? And can John Morant surpass what Wall did for this franchise? Make sure to watch part 2 to find out. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure to subscribe for some more videos.